Hi everyone, tonight on Tabletop Commander, Mazirek Kraul Death Priest. This is one of my favorite commanders. It is the alternate commander that comes with the Plunder the Graves, the Meren pre-constructed deck. You'll find that this deck plays a lot differently from the Meren deck, as this is more of a sack-based deck. When a player sacrifices another permanent, any player sacrifices any permanent, all of my creatures are going to get a 1/1 counter on them from this. So this is a deck that you can play with intending giving commander damage to win. This is also a very good budget deck. Most of the cards in here are bulk rares, commons, uncommons. I do play a doubling season, but when I bought the doubling season, it was only about $30. I know now that they're up to $60, so it's really an easy thing for you just to exclude the doubling season if you want to play this as a budget deck. So getting right into it. Soul Ring, pretty much an auto-include. Thought Vessel, you'll find I left a lot of the original cards in this deck. Lightning Greaves for protecting Mazirek. Nim Deathmantle, infinite combo with some of the creatures that are in this deck, such as Brood Monitor and similar creatures that make tokens. So we can include that in there. I'm not really a big infinite combo guy, but seeing how this deck is pretty straightforward, I decided to include one. It's rare that it gets out, but there we have it. Ashnod's Altar, because this deck needs a lot of sack outlets, so I went and put one of those in there. Skull Clamp for the same reason, as well as Draw. Sylvan Library, because we're playing green, and that's pretty well an auto-include. Oversold Cemetery, a good, fairly inexpensive card. I believe it's about $6 for getting creatures back up out of the grave after they've been in there, as we sack a lot. Dictate of Erebos, another fairly inexpensive card. When you sack, everybody else sacks. Same thing for Grave Pact. I believe Grave Pact is a little bit more money than the Dictate, but there you have it. I play Awakening Zone and From Beyond. They both make the Eldrazi tokens. This one makes Spawn. From Beyond makes the Scions. Good sacks, as well as good targets to receive 1/1 counters from the commander. Make a good swarm real quick. Doubling season, as I said, if you cannot afford a doubling season, you can leave this out. I've won plenty of games without it. Kodama's Reach and Cultivate, both pretty much the same thing for fetching some quick lands early on. Green Sun Zenith lets us grab a green creature out of our deck to get it right out onto the battlefield. Natural Order, pretty much the same thing. Natural Order, up until Eternal Masters, would not have been a budget choice, but now I believe the price of this is well under $10, so I chose to include it. Beacon of Unrest, an expensive card for good effects, getting stuff out of graves. Victimize, same thing, comes with the deck. It's a sack outlet as well as getting creatures back out of the grave. Innocent Blood, Bartering Blood for more sacks. I sack mine, you sack yours. With Grave Pact out, that's even better. Overwhelming Stampede, great card for when I have a bunch of Scion tokens out for smashing through those lines real quick. Second Harvest to double up my tokens. Putrefy for some spot removal. Garruk Wildspeaker for some untapping of lands for some ramp, as well as for 3/3 beast tokens. Nissa Voice of Zendikar, again for tokens as well as 1/1 counters. Yavimaya Elder, ramp card. Viridian Emissary, good for sacking as well as more ramp. More ramp. More ramp. Of course, we play Eternal Witness. Playing green, always play Eternal Witness. Indrik Stomphowler. This deck does get pretty toolboxy, and this is one of those good removal cards for artifacts and enchantments, as well as Viridian Zealot and Acidic Slime, and Terrastodon. Moving on, we still have Woodfall Primus for more removal, as well as Big Thuggy Stampies. Pathbreaker Ibex, known in my play group simply as the Goat, has a overwhelming stampede effect when he attacks for big beats. More big beats, Verdant Force, Grave Titan, big beats, not that expensive. Spike Weaver, Spike Feeder come into play with 1/1 counters, and when they get 1/1 counters, they have great effects. Weaver is a fog effect, and this is a gain life effect. Hangerback Walker, because why not when we're messing with tokens like this. Play a lot of cards that give the Scion and Spawn tokens, such as Nest Invader, Catacomb Sifter, Kozilek's Predator, Brood Butcher, and Brood Monitor. We have Mycoloth. This one is Devour 2 and make Saproling tokens for each 1/1 counter on it. Another Devour creature, the Bloodspore Thrinax. Devour 1 and makes everything come in play with additional X 1/1 counters, whereas X is the number of 1/1 counters on the Thrinax. Phyrexian Plague Lord, an amazing all-star in both Mazirek and the Meren deck. Forgotten Ancient, good for 1/1 counter manipulation. Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat. Lots of stuff is dying in this deck, so we want to gain life and hurt opponents at the same time. Armorcraft Judge. So many things with 1/1 counters on them. Let's draw cards for them. Rayhan, Last of Abzan. An amazing card. Makes sure all of your 1/1 counters stay in play once they're on a creature. Meren, because it is Meren's deck. I had an extra Meren, and he fits nicely right in here. Even though he's not the commander, he's still very, very effective. Or she. My bad. Shriekmaw for some removal. Korodoza Guildmage, a nice sack outlet. Fleshbag Marauder and Merciless Executioner. Again, removal as well as sacks for Mazirek. Wall of Blossoms, draw a card, sackable. And Withered Wretch, because we don't like other people playing grave-based decks. I've said that 1,000 times in my other decks. So, that is my deck for tonight. Like and subscribe and comment. Have a great day.